So we're back once again. We got some more races to cover. Let's get right into it. What's up, guys? Thomas 48 12th Man Fan here, and once again, another weekend of racing is over. So let's recap every single race that happened this week that I've watched. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first race we have was the Arca Menards race at MidOhio, and this race was pretty boring for the most part. I mean, Arca is kind of a really boring series, honestly. The racing's really mostly never exciting. So, but I still watch it for the sake of it, just to see what happens. But I'm most of the time just sitting on the couch on my phone during the race because nothing happens. But anyways, the first part of the race was pretty much dominated by John Hunter Nemechek. And then there were other players that came into the race, and then Taylor Gray in his Ford Mustang ended up taking the lead, and Taylor Gray would win at MidOhio. So congratulations to Taylor Gray, but pretty much a boring race. So moving on. Nothing to say about this one. Okay, moving on. We got the Truck Series race at MidOhio. Now, this one was better. This was a good race. So Corey Heim started on the pole. And what? Parker Kligerman is up there? Freaking Parker Kligerman in the 75 truck is competing for the win? I know, that's crazy. But anyways, Corey Heim was in it until he had an issue late in the race. He ended up not winning. It ended up coming down to a battle between Zane Smith and Parker Kligerman. I was hoping Parker would win, and he did win. Parker Kligerman wins the truck race at MidOhio. Yes! That is so great. I was so happy for Parker Kligerman. You love to see it. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. But anyways, also Justin Marks, the Trackhouse owner, was in this race. Unfortunately, he got taken out in this race. He ran like top 15 like all day. But he kind of messed up one of the corners. He almost took out his teammate, Wallace Allen, in the 45. That was close. But anyways, that was the truck race at MidOhio. Now let's move on into the next race. So now let's get into the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Qualifying was rained out for both Xfinity and Cup that day. So the race would be set by the metric system. And Ty Gibbs would start on the pole. And this race was pretty boring. Not much happened besides Sheldon Creed spinning and Ty Gibbs getting caught up in the wall. So, there's really nothing else that happened. The finish was also pretty anticlimactic. Austin Hill pretty much led the entire way. No one bothered to make a move until the last lap, which was pretty much already too late. Austin Hill would easily end up winning that race. That's Austin Hill's second win of the season, and they both come on super speedway. So Austin Hill has proven to be a really good super speedway racer. We haven't really seen his talents on other racetracks, so super speedways is basically where he really has the talent. But anyways, yeah, that race was pretty boring, so not really much to say about it. So let's just move on to the next race. Okay, so the next race, we have the SRX. We have the Camping World SRX race at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And now this race was sort of delayed because of weather, but they were able to get the race in. So that's good. And it ended up being a pretty good race, too. Definitely was pretty fun to watch. Matt Kenseth in his first SRX debut ended up with a top 5 finish, so That's great. I'd love to see that. He was my pick to win, but unfortunately, that did not happen. I forgot to tell you my other picks for the other race. For the trucks, I picked Zane Smith. He finished second. And for Xfinity, I picked Noah Gragson, which he had no chance at winning that race. He was honestly nowhere near contending for the win. So that was unfortunate for me picking him. But anyways, for the SRX, I picked Matt Kenseth. He didn't win. But someone else took the win. And once again, it would be Marco Andretti sitting in second. Marco Andretti still looking for that first SRX win. And despite Marco's best efforts, it would not be enough. For the first time ever in his career, Bobby Labonte would win in the SRX. This would be his first SRX win. Bobby Labonte wins at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Congratulations, Bobby. Really glad to see you win. A great race car driver. 2000 Cup Series champion. And, yeah, so congratulations to Bobby Labonte. Now, let's move on to the main event of the weekend. So here we go, the main event, the NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta. Like I said, practice and qualifying was rained out, so it was set by the metric, which meant Chase Elliott, who finished second last week at Road America, would start on the pole. So he would lead the field to the green flag. And Chase Elliott overall pretty much had one of the cars to beat. He was looking very strong, but there were other guys that were up there, like Ryan Blaney. Blaney was my pick to win, and Keselowski was my underdog pick. And Keselowski, he was up there for a little bit. But anyways, Chase Elliott ended up sweeping the stages for this race, and there were some crashes that happened. In stage 2, we had a big crash as Martin Truex Jr. once again gets turned by Ross Chastain. It happened he and Chastain kind of ran into each other at Dover a little while back, and it happens again at Atlanta. Ross Chastain done it again. He dumps another person and makes him mad. And then also, I think Kyle Busch might have got caught up in that wreck too. I know Austin Dillon did. He took a hard hit to the outside wall. Glad to see Dillon climb out okay. And overall, yeah. And Joey Logano, he was involved in that crash, but unfortunately for me, he was not out of it. So, but his back wheels were off the ground. It looked like he was going to flip again. And he was in the Auto Trader car because he flipped in the Auto Trader car last year at Talladega. So, it could have happened. But anyways, Chase Elliott would end up sweeping the stages. Alex Bowman also had a really good car, that Shock car that he has. It's like a rock band kind of tribute thing. And it's a very nice paint scheme. I'm really hoping to get a die cast of it very soon because that is a very cool car. But unfortunately, Bowman would have a flat tire and he would not meet the damaged vehicle policy, so he would ultimately be out of the race. And then we had another wreck. This time Garrett Smithley in the 15. Yep, Wickware Racing is turning back into 2021 Wickware Racing right here. When this is basically before Wickware Racing was good here in 2022. Wickware Racing decided to turn back the clock to 2021, and Garrett Smithley ends up causing a big one. Gosh dang it, Wickware. But this would take out a lot of guys. It took out Tyler Reddick. This took out William Byron. It took out Brad Keselowski for a chance, but I think he still continued. I think Keselowski was still in the race, but he was out of contention for the win, which is really bad for Brad Keselowski because he really desperately needs a win to make the playoffs because he got docked 100 points earlier in the year, and he's basically in a must-win situation. I mean, if he doesn't get a win, he's automatically eliminated from the playoffs. So yeah, that really sucks for Keselowski. He's just not having a good season all around. But I think RFK is going to get better as the years go on. This is just the start. It's just some growing pains. I think they'll get it together. I mean, they have run in the top 10 a couple times this year, so they're starting to improve. And Chris Buescher's also having some pretty good runs, so they're starting to improve. But anyways, that really sucks for Brad Keselowski. And now getting down to the end of the race. Now Christopher Bell also spun out, bringing out a late race yellow. And then on pit road, Christopher Bell, his pit crew, which was Bubba Wallace's pit crew, they did it they switched the pit crews around, which that didn't help Bubba. He got involved in a wreck anyway. It didn't really help Bubba go into the race. He still got wrecked. But anyways, Christopher Bell comes off pit road, and one of the tires falls off on pit road. So, yeah. There's your new pit crew, Christopher Bell. Man, I feel so sorry for Christopher Bell. Out of all the drivers, it had to be him to get Bubba's pit crew. Out of all of them, it had to be Bubba Wallace. It had to be Bubba Wallace's pit crew. It had to be. Sorry, there had some spit in my throat, but I'm all right now. But anyways, yeah. This is your new pit crew, Christopher Bell. You better get used to it. So, yeah, I don't think Bell's making the playoffs at this point. Just watch it. Bell's going to get, something bad's going to happen to Christopher Bell. He's going to get absolutely screwed over in these next couple weeks. Just watch. Just freaking watch. Something is going to happen. Now, we don't know if this is a 4-race suspension because NASCAR really hasn't figured it out. It's not an automatic 4-race suspension because it's on pit road, but NASCAR is trying. It's NASCAR's decision, so we'll see what NASCAR says and see if Adam Stevens is going to have to take a 4-week vacation. We don't know yet, but we don't know what the situation is, but we'll see. Anyways, moving on to the last part of the race. Corey LaJoie was up there, and let me tell you, I was pulling hard for Corey LaJoie. I was really hoping he could win it. But then late in the race, what do you know? Ross Chastain does it again. This time he dumps Denny Hamlin. And I think this has just crossed the line for Denny Hamlin. I think he's had enough of Chastain's antics at this point. Because Chastain took him out of Gateway a month back. So yeah, you know Denny Hamlin is definitely coming after Chastain very soon. And he's saying, I'm coming for him. I'm coming for him, but I think Denny's waiting until the playoffs, he's waiting for the right time to take him out. So yeah, pretty much. So anyways, you have another restart, and it looks like Corey LaJoie got a really good restart. It looked like LaJoie was gonna hang on, but then, of course, the late race yellow comes out. Whenever we have an underdog winner, something just has to happen to them. I swear, we have so much bad luck getting underdog winners like this in the Cup Series. It happens in trucks, it happens in Xfinity, but it barely even happens in the Cup Series. But, anyways, Denny ended up getting dumped by his teammate, Christopher Bell, and that also took out Joey Logano too, so yay for me. All you Logano haters, just yell in the comments all you want. I don't care. All you Logano fans in the comments, just yell in the comments. I don't care. But anyways, moving on. This would bring us to a late race restart with 3 laps to go. And it looked like Corey LaJoie, he got to get another restart, but Chase Elliott got the run, and he took the lead. So then we come to the white flag. LaJoie tries to make something happen, but Chase Elliott is there. LaJoie has no room. LaJoie goes into the wall and then takes out Kurt Busch as well. And I think Cole Custer also got involved in it as well, but he still finished in the top 10. So the race ended under caution, And after NASCAR looked at it, Chase Elliott was the guy in front at the time of caution, because you know the NASCAR rules. If a caution comes out on the last lap, the field is frozen, and how they're positioned at the time the caution lights went on, at the time that they just went off, that determines who's the winner. And Chastain was just barely on the rear quarter panel of Chase Elliott's car. So Chase Elliott ultimately wins. He wins for the first time at his home track and joins his father, Bill Elliott, as a winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So that's really cool. Both Elliots are winners at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You honestly love to see it, but I know some people don't like Chase Elliott that much. And of course, the whole thing with them saying, oh, Chase Elliott blocked Corey LaJoie. He put him in a wall. He's such a talentless race car driver. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Like, dude, Corey LaJoie had no room. He had no room whatsoever. Chase did nothing wrong. I swear these Elliott haters, they always find something to whine about. They always find something to whine about. It doesn't matter what it is. No matter what Chase Elliott does, they always just find a way to whine about it. But anyways, yeah, call this a Mickey win all you want. This was not a Mickey win. It was an earned win. He won the pole. He swept the stages. He led laps. He led laps before the finish. This was not a Mickey win. He led laps. He won stages. He got stage points. So yeah, Chase Elliott is our first three-time winner this year. And ultimately, Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain have officially locked their spots in the playoffs if we don't have more than 16 winners. Because if we have more than 16 winners, Chastain and Elliott are in no matter what. Because they already have so many playoff points and stage points. That would be practically impossible for them to be eliminated if someone else won. So yeah, Chastain and Elliott, they're officially locked in no matter what. So that's great. But anyways, I think that's pretty much going to do it. So the Cup race in Atlanta, this race was good. I really enjoyed it. It was very entertaining, much better than the Xfinity Series, right? So I was kind of worrying that it was going to be like Xfinity and no one was really going to make a move. Now, sure, they went single file sometimes, but they actually kept it like 2x2. They were actually fighting for positions. It was entertaining. So the next race for the Cup Series is going to be at New Hampshire. And the Xfinity Series is going to be at New Hampshire as well. Now, the Truck Series is taking a week off. They're going to be racing at Pocono. That's the next race. That's the regular season finale. That will determine who are the 10 drivers that will be competing in the playoffs. Now, right now, the cutoff line is between Matt Crafton and Derek Kraus in the truck race. All Matt Crafton needs to do is get some stage points, and he's pretty much got the spot. He just doesn't have to screw up. But if he does screw up, Derek Kraus has got a chance to make the playoffs. And also, Zane Smith, he could have clinched he didn't clinch the regular season championship. He could have clinched it at MidOhio. But because Parker Kligerman win, he did not clinch it. All Zane Smith needs to do is just get some stage points in stage 1 or 2, and he's pretty much got the championship in the regular season locked up. So, yeah, and Zane Smith, he's been very consistent. He's been in the top 10, for almost every race so far. So, Zane Smith, he's easily going to get those stage points. We all know it. He's easily going to get it. Zane Smith is going to be our regular season champion in the Truck Series. But anyway, there's really nothing else for me to say. So, with that, that's going to end it for this video. And also, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!